Hi, Kelsey here to review another book. So let's review books and get down to business. So today I'm going to be reviewing this wonderful book. I've read this, Princess Ben by Catherine Gilbert Murdocx. I've read this book a lot, especially before now, and it is fantastical. It's I want to call it a rewritten fairy tale because I don't know what fairy tale it would be based on. I guess it's a modernized fairy tale, basically. Like, it's in the fairy tale time, but it's more modern, and it's obviously based for older people. She's about 15. She turned 16 in it because it's over a course of like a year and a half-ish, maybe 2 years. It's over a while. It's really good. So what happens is this girl, her full name's Benevolence, but they call her Ben. And her basically in the very beginning, she loses her parents, which is really sad. But it makes her the crown princess because her father's a prince, and his brother was the king, and his brother died too. So her mother, father, and uncle all died in an incident. And so she becomes the crown princess because her uncle and his wife did not have an heir because his wife could not produce a child. Oh well, it makes her a princess. I guess that's how it works. But so it's her child after her parents die, and like going through her Queen Sophia, who is making her basically become a princess, and she isn't Queen Sophia, I like her actually. I think she's a pretty decent human being. However, she does not know how to handle people. She's just trying to do what she thinks is best for her country. But basically she tortures Ben. And she ends up making her live in this tower room with she locks her in there every night, and in that Ben discovers the magic room and that she has magic powers. Yeah, my kind of story. So she finds it, and she basically teaches herself the magical arts, and she goes through it, and it's her story of her dealing with her parents' death and going through learning and princess, and there's a threat of on her kingdom because so she lives in Montague. That's how I pronounce it. I don't know. That's how it's actually pronounced. In Montague, and the country by it, Drex and Bet, wants to take them over. So she's dealing with that too. So having a country round taken over, and having to be princess and blah blah blah. And they don't think she's fit because she's kind of chunky, and she eats a lot, and she isn't trying. She basically is rebelling against her aunt Sophia, the queen, because she's kind of crazy. So yeah, so it's her journey through magic. It's actually told in 4 parts. The first part being I don't want to give anything away, so I don't know why. The first part being her finding out her parents' death, and the torture of Aunt Sophia and all that stuff up until she finds the magic room. And the second part is her finding the magic room, her teaching herself in the magic. 4th part is a secret, but it's basically another part of her journey where she goes and her magic can't help her, and because of something that happens, and because it doesn't really help her, and she has to learn and live without magic, without being a princess necessarily because of what happens. The last part is basically the end, the sum up of there's never really a battle, but the sum up of Draken's vet trying to take her country, and that getting resolved, and it's to the end. And she also, obviously it's a princess story, so obviously her finding her prince. I really liked it. There's this part, this book was one of the first books that made me cry when I read it. I don't necessarily cry in books. I obviously cried in Harry Potter and books like those. But just normal, books like this I don't cry in, but yes, there's a part that has to do with Prince. I cried in it. So yeah, it's a fantastic book if you like fairy tales, especially modernized ones that make it more contemporary for you. Like, it's still set back in like the fairy tale time with like where they don't have indoor plumbing. I guess like that kind of time, like way back, like medieval times, but it's more modern. It's very good. It has the magic and it has the dragons. That didn't give away anything. And it has like mythological creatures and you know, it has that kind of stuff. It's really good. I highly, highly, highly suggest it. It's well written. It's in the point of view of Ben. It's obviously a first person narrative, and she has a really good point of view on things. I like how she talks, because she's like, I don't know, like, you notice as it goes on how she grows as a person. Like, in the very beginning, like, all she thinks about is food, because I guess that's how her mom showed her love, by feeding her, and like, she thinks about food a lot, and it makes me laugh. And then slowly she develops and like grows up and stops, and she's really childish in the beginning too, and she stops being so childish, and she's not spoiled. She learns about a lot, and I don't know, I just like watching characters grow in books, and she really grows and develops in her magic and her princessery and her love for the prince she finds, and it's just really good. And I've read it like 4 or 5 times. This is one of those books. I suggest picking up a copy of Princess Ben. Maybe from your library. That's what I did. It's a library book. I don't own it. I might get it from my Kindle, but I suggest it. Princess Ben. Fantastic book. Catherine Gilbert Murdocx. She's written other books that my sister likes, like the Dairy Queen books. So if you like those, they're not, they're not fairy tale, I don't think. I don't think they're fantasy. I don't know what they are. But my sister likes them. I haven't read them personally. But if you like those books, you might like this because it's the same author. If you like books like Fairest by Gail Carson Levine, or any Gail, which I love, or any Gail Carson Levine books like Ella Enchanted, or if you like the book Just Ella by the one that writes the Shadow Children series, I can't remember her name right now. Just Ella, or if you like, trying to think of other like fairy tale books I've read. East, that's a good one. Any books like those. There was another one I just read. Sorry. There was another one I read and it was really good. And it like, I don't remember. I don't. Oh well. But yeah, if you like rewritten fairy tales like that, like Fairest, East, those kind of books, you'll love Princess Ben. It's contemporary, it puts a twist on the regular fairy tale. Like, it doesn't necessarily have one, but they do reference other fairy tales. Like, I feel like Kind of Cinderella, because there's a ball, obviously, for Princess Ben, not a prince, but princess to find her prince. There is a reference, which it's not going to give away anything, but there's a reference to Rumpelstiltskin, where like, when she goes into her, Queen Sophia's, like, chamber, she, like, mentioned her rugs she had that had, like, gold in them, and she's like, it's rumored that her grandmother, made that gold by spinning it from straw. And I'm like, your great-grandma's from Rumpelstiltskin, which, the girl from Rumpelstiltskin doesn't have a name. Does that bother anyone, or does it just bother me? Like, I don't know. I'll probably do a whole another like web series where I talk about fairy tales because I really like them. I'm like a child. But yeah, so off topic. But yeah, like there's a lot. It's good. Princess Ben. I've held this up like 6 times, so you know the picture. There's probably other copy, but I think she looks pretty. But Princess Ben, highly, highly, highly suggest it. Well written, good point of view. There's growth in the character. There's fantasy in it. I mean, there's dragons and there's wizardry and there's princesses and princes. And if you like that sort of thing, highly suggest Princess Ben. Pick up a copy and read it. And I will see you next time. Bye!